Well, good morning and welcome to 755 Live, about 5 minutes of what Jesus said. These are soundbite versions of the commands of Jesus that you can find at our weekday Bible plan at bible.today.church. Some helpful resources there to help us read the Bible together. These 755 Live segments are just to help us to go make disciples like Jesus commanded by teaching them all the things that he said. And so we put the commands and teachings and example of Jesus into little soundbite versions just to help us to remember them and to apply them. If this is meaningful to you, it really helps if you like it, if you share it, if you comment, like Tina just did. Good morning, Tina. Glad to see you on here today. And today we are talking about the Jesus said, which is care for the sick. And this comes from Jesus talking about what actually the judgment was going to be like in Matthew 25. We're going to read verse 35 and 36. He says, "For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Jesus said, care for the sick. And actually, he said, when you do that, you're caring for him. The context here, Jesus revealed himself as the good shepherd who came to seek and save that which was lost. I was thinking back, I started actually preaching when I was a kid. I preached my first sermon when I was 12 years old. And the very first sermon that I preached was from Mark 2, 14 through 17, where Jesus came up to Levi, the tax collector, and told him to follow him. And Levi invited Jesus and his disciples over to his house, and they had dinner. And there were a lot of sinners that showed up, other tax collectors and people who didn't have the kind of reputation that the religious people liked. And so the Pharisees, the religious people of that day, they asked Jesus' disciples, they said, why does he eat with scum? Why does he hang out with these people? And when Jesus heard it, in Mark 2:17, he told them, healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners. Jesus said, care for the sick. Now, I believe this means what it says, that we should take care of those who are sick in body, that we should visit them, that the purpose of a Jesus follower, of a church, of a group of people who call themselves Christians, we should care for those who are hurting, who are facing physical challenges because of sickness. But I believe this also has a very deep spiritual meaning. Jesus was the good shepherd, and we see prophetic images of what a bad shepherd is like. In Ezekiel 34, it says that, verse 4 of Ezekiel 34, excuse me, says, "You have not strengthened the weak, healed the sick, bandaged the injured, brought back the strays or sought the lost, but with force and harshness you have ruled over them." Ezekiel was talking about a bad shepherd as compared to a good shepherd. Jesus was the good shepherd who came to seek and save that which was lost. And he told us we should have that same perspective. How do we care for the sick? Well, both for those that are sick physically and those that are sick spiritually. We've got to stop blaming the sickness. I mean, who would make fun of a blind person because they couldn't see and they ran into the wall? Why in the world would we want to put down, make fun of, or accuse or slander those who are dealing with the sickness of sin, those who are broken, those who are hurting? That's precisely who Jesus came to save. And he said that those that are well aren't the ones who need all the attention. It's those that are sick that Jesus came to save. Jesus said, care for the sick. That's not just those who are dealing with physical problems, but the broken and hurting among us who are dealing with the sickness of sin. That should be our job, because that's what Jesus came to do, to seek and save that which is lost. Jesus said, care for the sick. How do we put that into action today?